Had problems earlier on. For them it was problems at the slide, and this is their successor on course, Lisa Barry. Lisa with her own and Denise Barry's Rosie's Aventadora by Formula One, the sire of Landmarks Monte Carlo, who we'll see later on also in the 5-star. Here's Ado Rock and Sally Johnson now at the covered bridge, but carrying the 20 penalties earlier on from the single slide. There was an A element as well. The vents just perched on top of the hill rather than the brush at the bottom that caught them, and I wonder whether maybe we had a few horses that were just occupied, I think maybe looking across to the start area, but then when they were asked to turn, they were like, oh, no.
Yeah, a little bit distracted.
So Lisa Barry, Rosie's Aventadora down at these Paul Bunyan tables. A lot to look at there, not just with the stringing and the tailgating, but also the 5-star fences right alongside too.
I think with the earlier problems there, I think because you're right, there is a lot to look at there, especially with the 5-star combination right next to it. Tailgating's right there. This pair may end
just a little bit of a left and a right shilly-shally through the ropes as they make their way up to the mariachi table. So that is mim clipped. You don't want to be coming down too hard on the back rail there either at that top boxer. Hopefully it'll just have cleaned up the jump and get the horse a little bit more up in front and behind over that first rail, which is mim clipped here at the rail ditch rail combination.
And this one really knew where his feet were in that combination there. He's had his ears pricked at each fence.
Lisa Barry, Rosie's Aventadora, taking on this next combination, the Foxmill Farm Brushes 12AB. Couple of problems there so far. Sorry, that was Sally Johnson and Ado Rock. Here is Lisa and Rosie's Aventadora at the log that is the first element of the Inner Harbour.
This mare looks very tidy up front. Looks like she can really trust cruising down the fences with her.
Lisa, Rosie's Aventadora down to what would be another one of the time check fences on course as well. From the DNR covered bridge, they will run through the 4-minute marker on this course, meaning that they should have 5 minutes 38 remaining somewhere around here. And again, so they're good on the early time checks. Jan Binney and a Beautiful Storm on course. Jan rides for self, Joe Ellen and Richard Binney with this one. 7-year-old on 30.4 penalties, sat 16th after dressage in our division, and they make light work of that first combination fence on course. It's not only the first combination of course, it comes up at number 3, comes up in the main ring, comes up at the first minute on course. So it is a real sudden.
Your horses have to be very keen in the beginning of the course there. I think that is a question that people might underestimate. But this one, I was going to say, this horse is young. He's only 7. We've had a few 7-year-olds in the field. Yeah, I think it's a great confidence-giving course for them.
Just takes a little bit of a peek under that. That's on the way up to the Mars Sustainability Bay for Sally Johnson and Ado Rock. Sally, of course, carrying 20 penalties from the single slide earlier on. See her up. Now this upturned boat. See, just pitched a little bit forward, just gives good profile. And now first who's going to take any of the alternatives here for B and C. They can jump the crab at B, and that constitutes B and C itself, or they have to do these 2 jumping efforts. So that's the first you see do that. And now they'll come across the water to the other side of the Mars Sustainability Bay and jump this log triple brush arrowhead. Very, very steady here, just needs to shake the reins a little bit and get the horse engaged on that.
Yeah, the water there for both levels, you come up a big long hill, and then you have quite big efforts into the water, but then Ian was forgiving after it. Now you get to cruise down this slope here. This horse is a little bit happier to go downhill than up right now.
So they are about a minute down overall as they get here to the Foxcatcher ditch, having carried the jumping penalties as well. Lisa Barry behind them, Rosie's Aventadora actually not very far behind at all, so they'll be in the same area of the course. Jambini at the early part of the course at the single slide themselves, and Lindsay Lanier and Vivero have just started our cross country here this afternoon.
I love seeing the trust in this partnership. She's got a loop in the rein and letting him use himself. Use himself really well.
That's very, very unfortunate. So just coming to the brick drop, they throw out the anchors. It's 20 penalties, time wasted as they come back around as well. Unfortunately, that's 3 and out as well. 2 stops there, 1 earlier on. So unfortunately, elimination for Sally Johnson and Ada Rock. So close to home here as well on the 3-star course.
Nice to see she gives him a pat after finishing most of the course there.
Yeah, not the way she would have wanted to finish, of course, but Sally Johnson and Ada Rock will have the short walk back to the finish and then onto the tracks that will take them back to the stables yard. Rosie's Aventadora and Lisa Barry, as we said, very, very close actually on their tail, because this is on the way to the Foxcatcher ditch. If my tailgater recognition skills are on point. So they've been through Mars Sustainability Bay. They come to this just little T-shaped log poking up out of its ditch. Just the profile of the log actually, I think, pretty much covers the ditch for the horse when they get there, but the riders will have all come down that hill and been terrified by that fence the first time they've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little scared for it last year, but it's riding well. It rode well last year, it's riding well this year.
Through the Camden Yards roller coaster. Oh, they've been jumping it so well, and there's another one. Just grinds to a halt. It is a, it's a big drop, but that is so unfortunate, because this is a player that had been going well. The time was looking good for them. They haven't had a problem anywhere else on the course. But Lisa Barry and Rosie's Aventadora will have 20 penalties.
Oh no.
Just a little bit half-baked going to that